morning, everyone. So last unit we focused on analyzing people's differences and the effect that they had on society. This unit we're going to be exploring a really hot topic about bullying. And we're going to be asking ourselves when we're reading our new novel, Bystander, can bullying be stopped? So today we have a gallery walk based on bullying pictures. So we are going to look at a series of different pictures. And Tyree, please read the 4 directions that we're going to be doing for gallery walk instructions.
Gallery walk instruction. Number 1, create a title for the picture. Number 2, use detail to describe the picture. Number 3, interpret the author's message. Number 4, self-assess your interpretation using the checklist.
Awesome. Everyone flip the page. Thank you for doing it right away, showing a sense of urgency. Take a second to look at this picture. If I'm going to describe this picture using adjectives, I'm going to use words like, please write down what I'm putting on the next page to describe this picture. Bigfoot, stomping man.
We're right there at the side.
If you flip the page, good question, right here. What does the picture look like? Tiny person. When I'm using descriptive words, I'm thinking of my senses, smelling, hearing, touching. I see a statistic on there. I'm not going to write the whole statistic out because I'm just going to describe it, but it says over 28% of 12 to 18-year-olds get bullied every year. Stamp it out now. A lot of people getting bullied. You'll notice in my description of the picture, it's quick notes. It's just a quick jot, just like you guys are writing quickly. The next part where I'm going to ask you to interpret this message. What is this author, photographer, artist telling us? So when I interpret that message, there are some guidelines in the checklist. Malik, at the checklist, when you're interpreting the message, what am I looking for?
For you to turn the questions around and use capital letters to start a sentence and use details from the description and the interpretation that was said.
Interpretation. Thank you for trying.
So you want me to
Please.
reread answers correctly to yourself.
Good. So when I'm going to turn my question around, again, you're writing what I put down as our first example. The message the author is trying to convey is that a lot of people are being bullied and we need to stop it. Okay, now I'm going to go through it. Did I turn the question around? Yes, I turned this question around. Did I start with a capital letter? I did. Did I use details from the description? Yes. How did I know a lot of people were affected? From that detail, that statistic in the picture. Did I use punctuation at the end? Yes, I did. Here's a period, so I'm giving myself another check. Now I'm going to reread it to myself to make sure it makes sense. The message the author is trying to convey is that a lot of people are being bullied and we need to stop it. I just reread it. I just got 5 points on my first one. Turn your page. Take a look at that picture. Start thinking of words that you would use to describe this picture. All right, I'm going to call on you. I'm going to cold call What is a description of this picture that you see, Malik? What are some things you could use to describe this picture? Tyree, can you help them out? I'm going to come back to you.
You see fists,
You see fists. What does it say on the fists?
bullying.
Good, you're writing this down under description.
See two people teasing another student, two students.
Okay, teasing. Good, Malik, back to you. What else do you see in this picture?
Jealousy. They look like they're making fun of.
Jealousy. Oh, I love that word. I see different groups of people. Geek, fatty. So those are like cliques that you see in school. And it says, be a buddy, not a bully. So now we have our details written down. On the next page, we're writing our details that we just listed. What is a good title for this picture? What could we put as a title for this picture?
Bullies need to stop.
Bullies need to stop. Thank you, Antoine. So I'm going to put that as my title that I made.
Bullies need to stop.
Yes. Good. Thank you for repeating it. So now we have our details for this picture. What message do we think the artist is trying to convey? So the first thing, I'm turning my question around. We can all do that. Good. 100% of the words that I wrote down are on your paper. The message the artist is trying to convey. We need to interpret their message because they don't tell us directly, this is my message. They draw pictures about it. So the message the artist is trying to convey is what? Who thinks they're good at interpreting? Now this is a higher order thinking question. So what do we think the author was trying to convey in this picture that we just wrote details about?
He was using pictures instead of words, and titles he was using in pictures
To tell us what, Tyree?
to tell us how bullying needs to stop, and how is it bad and all that.
Yeah, so good. That's overall what it's telling us, but I think this artist is really telling us that there's different groups of people in schools that are getting made fun of. See how I use the details, not the overall message of bullying's bad. I really took it a step further. The artist is showing us that is trying to convey is there are different groups of people in schools getting bullied. What's the first thing on my checklist? Capital letter. Yes, I did that. Did I turn the question around? Yes. Did I use a detail? Yes. Different people in school. This is a detail specific to this picture. Did I use a period at the end? Yes. It's my fourth check. What gets me my fifth check?
Reread.
Rereading my answer, making sure it sounds good. Good, I have everyone on point. I'm going to reread it to myself. The message the artist is trying to convey is there are different groups of people in schools getting bullied. Good. Now it's your turn. We're going to do a gallery walk. There are 4 pictures. You choose one picture to write details about. After you go to that picture and write details, come back to your seat and interpret the message. You're going to go stand up next to that picture in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go stand next to the picture. Here, come with me. What does this say?
I get you.
Bullies are
Circle with X through it. Just write circle, the word circle. Okay, good job. Finish up your details in the next 20
That's it for
seconds.
that one? That's it for that one?
What else? What other details do you see? Okay, blue. Okay, head back to your seats to interpret the author's message.
That's about it, right?
Sit down.
But I gotta grab some, like,
Just have you one.
uh,
So now. Okay, so you should be interpreting the details that you wrote on the paper about the picture. So you're looking at your details and you're writing an interpretation message and going through your checklist. Once you go through your checklist today, that is our closure for today, remembering that we were interpreting the meaning of a visual representation of an argument. These authors were arguing something to us through visual representation, and you worked on interpreting their messages by paying attention to the detail. After you're done with the checklist, you'll submit this to the turn-in tray.